Hey guys,
Hi, everybody.
me and Janet are here in Syracuse. We got together for a couple of days of crafting. So we figured we would do a YouTube live and kind of answer some of the questions that we get often. And you guys can feel free to ask any questions as we kind of go along. We are in a hotel room, so forgive us for the lighting and the mess behind us there. We were crafting pretty much all day. So do you want to start?
Sure. Well, one of the questions that we got on Instagram today was, why are we in a craft room crafting? No, a
Why
hotel
aren't
room.
we?
Why are we in a
Okay.
hotel room crafting?
Hi,
So,
Mom.
so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jen. I'm Scrappina Creations here on YouTube, and I actually live on the eastern side of Canada. So for those of you in the United States, I am northeast of Maine. And I am on vacation. I'm visiting Ottawa, Canada, which is where I grew up. And the drive here to Syracuse was about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. And Courtney's in Albany. So we decided that while I was home, we would
Meet
get together
halfway.
for
Yeah.
a couple of days and get together and craft. We're going to talk a little bit about YouTube and things that are changing on YouTube and why it's so nice to kind of meet people who do what we do and to be able to talk about it. So we cherish the time that we do get together. And that probably leads us into questions around how we met.
Yeah. We met actually in person in January at Creativation. We were both there with Scrapping for Less. We were both on the design team. We had chatted a little bit here and there, about design team stuff, and actually met in person when the team was in Phoenix. And we kind of clicked right away. We shared bunk beds for 5 days. So, yeah, so we chat every day now,
Yeah.
multiple times a day.
Besides my husband, I was saying to a friend the other day, I'm like, Courtney's the first person I talk to every morning
Yeah.
before I get ready for work. And then we're constantly kind of chatting on Messenger. And it's just nice to have someone to bounce ideas off of and to kind of, we'll send pictures of things that we're working on and ask each other for advice or just kind of,
Opinions.
and it's really nice. I know a lot of you who subscribe to my channel. We've talked over the years about how lonely this can sometimes be in terms of not having crafty friends
Locally,
living anywhere near you. And I think that's why a lot of us start YouTube and start a channel. And even if you don't have a channel, the community that you build here on YouTube is really amazing. I've been on YouTube, I think 6 years now. I kind of feel like I started back in the day. It was really different, and I've maintained friendships for those entire 6 years and made new friends. And just the support and the love and the kind of back and forth, just even through commenting, it really makes you feel like you share the love of crafting, with more people.
Hi.
So Janice just joined us. She says hello to my two favorite card makers. Thank you. That's really sweet.
That is sweet. That is sweet.
And it's comments like that keep us going.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of people have asked me or left comments under some of my videos as to why I started a YouTube channel, or maybe they're looking to start a YouTube channel and how do they go about doing it. What are the benefits and maybe some of the struggles that we have as YouTubers. I'm fairly new to the game. I've been crafting pretty much my whole life in some way. You can ask my mom, she's here with us. I was always doing something crafty as a little kid. But I don't really know why I started to do a YouTube channel. I guess I kind of started my blog, my YouTube, my Instagram, Facebook, all of that in the same week, about a little over a year ago. And it was mainly to reach out and to connect with other crafters because I don't have anybody locally that I craft with other than my mom every once in a while. But we're kind of on different, no offense, Mom. I don't mean that we're on different levels as far as skill. I just mean that we're on different levels as far as it being our passion. She likes to do it every once in a while I'll sit in my craft room for 8, 9 hours a day, and it goes by like that.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have people through social media, through YouTube, through Instagram that shares that with you and that you can chat with. And I mean, I get random messages. You're not terrible, Mom. Um, that I get messages from all sorts of people. And like last night, I had someone recreate like all of the cards that I made using the Simon Says Stamp latest kit, the April kit. And we were talking about that, and that's like totally flattering. And I have to say that she probably did a better job than I did, but
They were pretty good.
she did amazing. And it's just nice because now I reached out to her. Well, she reached out to me. I reached out to her, and now it's like we kind of can chat from here on out. And I don't know. I just that's why I enjoy it. But there are some setbacks to having a YouTube channel for sure.
Why don't do you
Yeah,
want me
go
to
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So I started YouTube, like I said, about 6 years ago. I had a really bad back injury, and I was on my stomach for months, and I just happened to kind of fall into YouTube, and I started somehow, I don't even know how, watching paper bag tutorials. Like, you know, those paper bag mini tutorials?
Oh yeah, the minis, yeah.
Mini album tutorials. And so I was home, I couldn't work, and I don't know, I made one, and I thought, I'm gonna share this on YouTube. Like, I didn't I didn't put any thought into it. I had no idea what I was doing, and it's kind of progressed from there. So my first video on YouTube, which is actually private now, but is a paper bag mini album tutorial on a camping album. So that's how I got started. And back then, like I was saying, it was really different. Most people weren't doing tutorials. It was basically just show and share, and a lot of swaps, a lot of happy mail. And in 6 years, it's really turned into an art. And making YouTube videos is, you know, it takes a lot of time, and it's something that, you know, we consistently work at. I'm just trying to read that comment. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
So yeah, I guess I'm kind of rambling a bit, but I guess just the point of that is that, hey Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Is to say that I've been around for a while, and things are changing. Things on YouTube forever change, and it's really hard to keep up and to figure things out. And so if you're really wanting to start a YouTube channel, I would say do it, but be really conscious about the reasons why you're starting a YouTube channel, because if it's to make a living off of, that's very hard to do. I'm sure most of you would be shocked at how little we actually make as YouTube creators. And I think because there's so many successful YouTube creators out there in other genres, that there's just, hi Lynn, there's this kind of persona, or there's this belief out there that everyone's making a killing off YouTube. And one of the things that we wanted to chat about tonight was how much it is changing, and in particular, just in the last 6 to 8 months, the algorithms have changed again. So it's one thing to watch someone create a video, but what you don't see behind the scenes is us trying to figure out all that back end, what's gonna get our videos shown. Hi, Moira.
Hi.
What's gonna get you guys to see the videos. So that was one of the things that we wanted to talk about, and just those crafty friends that we do have, whether it's mutual people on design teams or just people we know, are talking about how challenging it is right now for us in the crafty community on YouTube, because there's been a significant shift. And being around a while, I can give you an example. So even a couple years ago, I know a lot of people watch my channel for my 10 card videos and specifically around Doodlebug. And I would get 20 to 30,000 views on one video for a 10 card video, and now I get maybe 5,000. So you can see something has switched. My subscriber counts are going up, but the views have changed. So it's definitely not easy, but it's worth it. I mean, I'm sitting here.
It's still fun. It's still fun.
Someone that I met because of YouTube, but we're not making a living over here.
Yeah.
We do it because
we're
love
definitely
it,
not. And there's a
love it.
lot of work. It's not me sitting down making the card and then boom, you guys see it. You're talking about 3 hours of work on each and every card on top of the card. And obviously most of you guys have watched my videos and you know that I do make some clean and simple ones, but I also make ones that are taking me 2.5 hours to make the card. And then I got another 3 hours of editing and linking and blogging and pictures and lighting and all of that after that. So I'm definitely not doing it for the money, or else I'm way underpaid. But I just do it for the fun and to share. Another misconception is that we're getting all this free product. We're not. Unless you hear me say, I'm doing this video for so-and-so, for a design team, I'm purchasing those products myself. Nobody gives me Copics. I wish they would.
Yeah, really.
Nobody gives me just the basic supplies. All of that I have to keep up with. The only thing that I typically get for design teams is the stamp set. And maybe a die here and there, but usually it's just the stamp set. Everything that you guys see that I make, 99% of it is all something that I've purchased.
And we're lucky. I'd say we are
Hi,
lucky
Elizabeth.
because
Yes.
we are on a number of design teams. So we do get some free product, which is great because everybody wants to see the newest thing out there, and it's hard to keep up. And
it's not only they want to see it, I want to have it.
Yeah,
So.
I want to have it too. And then also for me, being in Canada also puts me at a distinct disadvantage because we don't have access to the same things that you all have here in the United States. And although I can order from the States, I pay out 30 cents more on every dollar. So
And have to wait an extra
like
couple of weeks.
2 weeks to get something. So yeah, so there's definitely some things out there.
Right.
that
It does
make
become a job if you're doing it for the money. Those YouTubers and crafters who can do this for a living,
we're not
I
there
envy
yet.
them. But because I mean, who wouldn't want to craft for a living? But it is more than just crafting. You know, it is not just making the card. It is, like I said, the editing, the blogging, I love the social media part, like posting to Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and all of that. That's fun to me because while I'm doing that, I get to see what everybody else created. And I like that part. I mean, I like the YouTube part too. I like it all. But it is, I know that I get a lot of questions from people who do want to start a YouTube channel. I definitely encourage it. Nobody says that you have to post a video every day. Post a couple, get a feel for it. I will tell you that your first one,
I'll read it while you go.
okay. Your first one, I have to like kind of duck down to see that, is going to take you probably 4 times the amount of time than your next ones, because once you kind of get into a routine and kind of get into a flow of the editing and the voiceovers and all of that, it does become easier. But I remember my first video, which was terrible.
They're always usually pretty terrible. The first
Took me like an hour to make the card and like 3 days to edit it.
Yeah.
I did the voiceover. It took me 2.5 hours to do a 10-minute voiceover because every time I messed up, I would start over. So I ended up typing everything out and reading it. And then it was too long or too short. And I have to, and I did have a lot of music, Mom. I know. And a lot of silent moments. I know. I've gotten a little bit better.
Your mom chirps in every
she says I'm critical of myself, but
you are. We all are.
Yeah. But I know that I've had a lot of questions. So hi Caitlin, if anybody else has any questions, like anybody who has any questions about YouTube or anything else,
Yeah, just feel free to leave them.
yeah,
Elizabeth was just saying that she has to buy all her products too, and was lucky enough to be on a design team for 2 years. It's great, and I am definitely lucky in that sense. So that's great. And I think the point to us really just talking about YouTube tonight, because I've seen some people do some lives or just kind of getting into conversations around YouTube, and there are some people that say, you're just whining sort of thing, and not anybody in particular, but I think now more than ever, it's really important to make sure that you're subscribed to your favorite creators. Make sure that you hit that notification bell and that you're really supporting them, because there is definitely something going on right now. We know a number of people who are, Caitlin says she agrees 100%. We got a question here about thumbs down.
yes.
I don't. Mary's on here. I don't even know if we want to get into that. Mary did a whole video on thumbs down, but basically, just really, really support your creators that you love and that you watch consistently. Both of us were looking at our. Mary's laughing at the thumbs down. We were looking at our analytics, which is just the background of YouTube, and so 50% for both of us, 50% of people who watch our videos aren't subscribed. So if there's someone out there that you love, make sure that you're subscribing to them. Hitting the notification bell really helps.
Mm-hmm.
And interacting, and I think that's kind of where we can leave that conversation.
The interacting, I know somebody mentioned the thumbs down, which we don't really want to talk about too much, because honestly it is just part of the game.
Yeah.
We're not going to create, not everything we create people are going to like. They may give a thumbs down because they don't like the stamp set, they don't like what I made, they don't like my voice, they don't like
lighting,
card making.
Lighting.
Maybe it came up as a suggestion and they're like, that's not something they're interested in. But for whatever reason, they don't need to like everything that I create. And I don't like everything that I create. So that's fine. It's just part of everything.
So,
oh, thank you so much.
So someone's just saying Courtney's coloring abilities, which is amazing. But yeah, you can't control the thumbs down, and people talk about it at length. It's going to happen. It's kind of part of YouTube, and I don't let it get to me.
No.
The frustrating part is just not knowing why, but we'll never know why. So there's no point in really, it would be great if someone said why they gave you thumbs down, but they're never going to. So.
And that's fine too. That's fine too.
Yeah.
The other question was tagging. You might do something different, but when I put my tags in for a video, oh, thank you so much, Tracy. I basically break it all down to everything I did for that video. I start off by whatever stamp company. Thanks, Kimberly. Stamp company.
Tagging.
Yeah, sorry. Sam, I have to we have two screens set up. So we have the camera here and then the screen that we're looking at. So I have to kind of duck down. So stamp company, name of the stamp, and then everything I did. So I'll start off with card making, paper crafting, greeting cards, handmade, do it yourself, all of that. And then if I did Copic coloring, which you guys know most of the time I do, I'll break that down. I'll do Copic, Copics, Copic markers, Copic coloring, spelled both ways because she taught me that. Everything, like anything that you can think of, and then split it up. So you can do clean and simple, but then do clean and simple and CAS and anything that you can think of. Do it like you do hashtags on Instagram. Anything that's going to grab somebody's attention or that's something they might search for. If you're doing a Simon card, do Simon Says Stamp and SSS because they could search both ways. And that's what I found works for me.
Yeah, that's pretty similar for me as well. So Shirley is saying she watches all of your videos and you're one of her faves.
Thank you so much.
So that's why we do YouTube. That's why we do YouTube. So we have a few questions that were asked as well. We'll get off the heavier topics here. So
No, is that Michelle? I can't
Michelle's
see.
asking
Okay.
if we're at a convention. So no.
No, we're just getting together, kind of a halfway point. We haven't seen each other since January, and we don't know the next time we're gonna see each other. So we figured we'll get together, both drive a few hours, meet for a couple of days, do some crafting, and just hang out.
Yeah. So normally Courtney and I would be about a 14-hour drive apart, but where I'm on vacation, where I am, we were only each about 2.5, 3 hours. So yeah, so we had a question about most repurchased crafty item besides paper. So if anybody
Thank you so
watching,
much, Elizabeth. Sorry, I'm like trying so
Yeah,
hard
you're
to see
trying
the
to see me on the
comments, like
phone.
you're just slouched down.
If anybody has any questions as we're chatting, feel free to.
And it could be about
write
anything.
them.
It doesn't have to be about YouTube. Anything at all.
Yeah. So Courtney, most repurchased crafty item for you,
Other than cardstock.
other than paper.
Oh, I was gonna say masking paper. Does
Well,
that count?
that doesn't count.
I do a whole lot of masking, and I have every kind of masking paper there is.
And you got me onto
The
Simon
Simon.
Says stamp masking paper. I like to save money where I can, so I have always used full adhesive Post-it note, and Courtney's like, girl, you gotta buy some of this masking paper. So I did, and I have to say it's definitely worth it because it has the release paper on the back, so when you actually cut it, it's not sticking to your scissors and it's not sticking to your fingers and all over the place. So I'm with you on the masking paper.
And it's thinner, so when you stamp over another image, you don't get like those lines that don't connect sometimes because the Post-it notes are a lot thicker. I mean, I use them too. I use the Post-it notes, Eclipse.
I still use them, yeah.
I use it all depending on what I'm doing. But usually when I place a Simon order and I need masking paper, I'm buying like 3 packages of them because I'm never running out of it. I ran out once and I was like withdrawals from my Simon masking paper. So I keep a whole stock of that. So I'd have to say that's the number one thing I guess I replenish when I do buy it, because I buy like 3 or 5 packs each time.
Yeah, and I had to think about that question a lot, and I'm gonna go with my Signo white gel pen.
Oh, thank you so much.
So I think
I had to say
so I have been, since someone's asking how long we've been crafting, so I've been really into doing white gel pen detailing lately, and I have been going through my Signo white gel pens quite a bit. So I'd say that's mine, besides the boring paper and adhesive, which we weren't allowed to count.
Right, right.
So how long have we both been crafting?
A card making, I would say probably 8 years. But seriously, probably I'd say 3 or 4.
Yeah, for me, I started out scrapbooking, I'd say probably 20 years ago, I guess.
Oh, wow.
I know. And then a friend introduced me to card making, and it was very simple. And I went to university for a number of years and didn't do any crafty stuff at that point. And then I really, like I was talking about earlier, 6 years ago when I started my YouTube channel, I jumped in with both feet and started making cards, and it's just, I was just a kid. I wish I was just a kid 20 years ago. Time goes by so quickly. But yeah, so I just jumped in, and well, I'm not going to encourage you, but if you were to go back onto my channel and just see the simplicity of my cards, like everybody starts somewhere, and we all start in a similar place. And since then, it's just progressed. So yeah, made one scrapbook. I think I only have a couple that I've actually finished. And that's what I love about cards, is that I actually have a finished product. So that's probably why I stuck with it. And it progressed. So when I first started, I was doing die cutting. I wasn't even introduced to stamping yet, so it was all paper, and it wasn't even die cutting. I was cutting stuff out with scissors.
Yeah.
Like I was making my own templates that said like hello, cutting them out with scissors. And then through YouTube and this community, I got introduced to stamping. And when I first started stamping, I was stamping stuff I didn't have to color because I didn't know how to color.
Uh-huh.
And then I started out with Spectrum Noir markers maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know. Time goes by so fast. And I colored with those for years, and I didn't get my first Copics till maybe 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of how I started.
I did a video a while back, I think it was like last summer, where I have a small box and I still have it in my craft room, of some of the cards I made when I first started crafting. And I thought that I was Jennifer McGuire because at the time I did. I thought I was just fantastic. And now looking back, it's like, okay, I put a piece of pattern paper and a ribbon around this thing, and that was it. And I didn't even pop up anything, so the ribbon is like a big bulge in the middle of the card, you know?
But we have to start somewhere.
Yeah, but I did a video where I randomly pulled out a card from, 7, 8 years ago, and I recreated it to the best of my ability with the supplies I have now. Unbelievably, I had that stamp still. It was a Hero Art stamp, and I still had it. I no longer have it, which I probably wouldn't have any of the ones that I pull out now, but it was fun to do. So maybe when I get back, I'll do that again. I'll just randomly pick one. As embarrassing as it is to show.
Your mom got a thank you note with a butterfly cut out, and she loved it.
And she still has it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yes.
All right, Courtney, what's your favorite crafty tool? Was another question we got.
My favorite crafty tool. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Do you inventory all your supplies? Remember that in a second. I would say my favorite crafty tool is my sand eraser, my Tombow sand eraser, because I get a lot of fingerprints and smudges because I'm not the neatest card maker. So I think that's really handy to have because there's always mistakes that need to be fixed.
Yeah, I couldn't narrow it down to one, so I have a tie for 3 of my favorite crafty tools. So, and a couple of these are newer to me. So I'm gonna say one would be my Cutter Bee scissors. So they're great for fussy cutting, which I absolutely hate to do, but you kind of need a good pair of scissors. And then I would say my stamp platform. I started out with a generic one, and then I moved up to the Tim Holtz stamp travel platform, and I just purchased my first Misty. I have it here this weekend. It's my first time using it. I got the mini Misty, and I'm loving it. And honestly, it is one of the greatest tools ever invented. And then recently, fussy cutting. I have people agreeing with me here.
Cutting. I love it.
My other one would be my Tonic Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer. And that is, I just purchased that within the last year, and I will never go back to what do you call that one?
Like
a
the
trimmer.
Fiskars. Yeah, like the regular old-fashioned trimmers.
So those are my top 3.
Okay.
And then
she said, "Oh, Mom."
Mom's giving the thumbs down.
The first question was, do we inventory our supplies? I guess certain supply, like my stamps, I guess I do.
Do you? I don't.
Oh, I used
inventory
to.
like in a
I mean,
a
I used
spreadsheet?
to. I used to. I kind of lost track
No.
now. To be quite honest with you, I have 2 bins on top of my main shelf. One is stamps that I've used that I still have to package, and then one is stamps that I haven't used yet that I want to use in a video soon. And the bin of unpackaged stamps is overflowing, falling on the floor, overflowing. So I've been a little lazy with that, but a lot of stamps, honestly, I'll use once and maybe never use again. So I don't mind doing giveaways, but I don't want like somebody to be like, you're giving me a used stamp set. I don't mind, like, if I get a stamp set and I know I only need it for one purpose, I don't mind at the end of the video doing a giveaway for that stamp set, but I don't want people to think they're getting a brand new stamp set. You are getting a stamp set that was used one time. So if that's something you guys are interested in, I would love to do that. At least know that it's going to somebody who can use it.
Mhm. So we have someone on here saying that they inventory all their stamps and dies on their phone. That's amazing.
I've heard that, yeah, and Copics too. I know there's a Copic app or
So
an
for
app.
me, it's a time thing. So I work full time during the week, and I craft on the weekends, and I literally spend most of my time on the weekends in my craft room. And I I'm the kind of crafter, so I'm very fortunate to receive product, and I also purchase quite a bit of product, as we already talked about. But I like to pass my product on. So I cannot craft in a room that has a lot of stuff. So I tend to purge a lot. So I will sell things in order to bring money in to buy stuff to keep my channel going. I will do giveaways as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just kind of hold on to those stamp sets that I really love. This is something I would say new to me in the past 2 years. I did the Marie Kondo Magic of Tidying Up two or 3 years ago, which is now really back and is super popular. But that process really helped me in terms of figuring out what I love, and for me the joy is creating. So I don't tend to keep a lot of stuff around me. I keep all my lawn fawn for the most part, and then like some of my love stamps. And now when I say some, I mean we're probably talking about 50 to 60 stamp sets still,
That's it.
maybe more, I don't know. But
You
I
know it's
do
more.
I do really try to kind of keep things coming in and coming out, and a lot of that is through selling, like I said, in order to kind of put that money back into my channel.
I was doing that for a while, and then I slowed down with that.
But someone was saying they use the Copic app on their phone, so I do that because that helps me with purchasing for my Copics.
I
But
don't
I
have
just
that.
don't have the
I just have
time
my Copic chart that I refer to, but I
to
had also
inventory.
a comment, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm like giving myself a pat on the back, but somebody asked if I had a natural artistic talent.
Yes.
No, I do not.
Yes, she
I
does.
No. If you notice, most of my scene cards um, involve that T-square ruler because I like straight lines. Anything I can draw with a straight line, I can make it look fantastic. But if it involves any kind of freehand stuff, I do struggle with that. As far as coloring goes, I watched coloring videos on YouTube for a very, very long time before I got my first Copic markers. I bought my first 3 Copic markers, I believe it was in July of 2017. So I have been Copic coloring not quite 2 years. Um, and really, I only had 3 markers, so I really wasn't Copic coloring. Can you read that?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Okay. So no, it's not a God-given talent or anything. It's just a whole lot of practice. When I got them, I was very determined, and that was it. Just lots and lots of practice.
So that first comment, it got cut off. They were talking about not living in the United States and how expensive it is. They'd love to share their cards and stuff, but they find it hard to get stamps and products. And as a Canadian, I know how that feels. It's really challenging. Shipping costs are outrageous for stuff coming from the U.S. So I'm lucky enough that I can sometimes drive to the States and get Courtney here to do orders for me and bring them to me. But that's really challenging. But we actually couldn't see the last part of that comment, which had a question.
It disappears on us. We can only see it for a couple of seconds, and then it disappears.
Yeah, it wasn't even showing up though. And then Mary just asked if we ever teach in person, and if we don't, would we ever consider it?
I never have, but would love to. We're actually, well, not really. It's not really teaching, but I know that some of you guys may have seen a post on Instagram or here on YouTube where I'm looking to organize a crop, and it will be fairly small, but it will be this summer, probably in August or September. I'm looking at in Lake George, New York, which if you guys haven't heard of it, which you probably haven't, it's about 45 minutes to an hour north of Albany. There's a lot of stuff to do there. Yay, Lake George is awesome. There's tons of stuff to do there. So other than just crafting, you can spend a couple extra days there. You can bring your family there and they'll have plenty of things to do. There is a Six Flags, there's a water park, there is like kind of like boardwalk type activities. There's obviously the lake. There's tons of stuff. So I'm looking to do that. Right now, I'm just trying to gauge the level of interest. I know a lot of people have said that well, not really a lot. I know it's a far drive for most people, so it would probably be mostly East Coast that would be there, but looking to try to book a place that's very inexpensive to keep the cost down for everyone, but it would be over the weekend. And if you guys are interested, certainly let me know. You can send me a private message on Instagram, Facebook,
Or even
email
an
me.
email so we can keep
Yeah,
track of them.
email me. My email, I believe, is in my about section here on YouTube. You can leave a comment on my blog, wherever you want. If you're interested, nobody's going to hold you to it. If it ends up being a weekend that you can't make it, I'm not going to hold you to it. I'm just trying to get a rough idea of how many people would be interested. So we wouldn't necessarily be teaching classes, but it would we would do some make and takes and have giveaways and stuff like that. So just let me know if you would be interested. Ooh, that first one disappeared.
Okay, no, I saw it. And for me, I haven't taught anything yet, except I guess through video tutorials, which really takes up all my time. So if I'm not at work, in my real job paying bills, then I'm doing YouTube. Honestly, like it's a second job, and but yeah, Courtney and I are trying to see if we can get this crop to go, which would be really fun. And we'd do some make and takes and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that if you're sort of in the area. It's not in the area for me, but it's worth it for me to come to it. So I'm really excited, and I hope we can make it work. It will be small, and that's okay. So the end of that question that we couldn't read was just asking about the fact that it takes a long time to get new product and can't get new product. Do you think that it's worthwhile to share old products on a YouTube video? Would anybody watch?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I've brought in older stamp sets that I have that I love and will always love, those stamps that you, like you were talking about, that you will never let go of.
Yeah.
I've created, I don't know how many cards with the W+9, that large floral one. I can't think of the name of it right now. But I've created so many cards with it. And there's so many things that you can do with it. And people like to see that because they might not necessarily be in the position where they can get new things either.
Yeah.
They may be in a different country, or they may just not have the financial means to keep purchasing. So they like to see what they can do with their sets that they already have in their stash. So absolutely.
Yeah, and Mary's just saying that there's a desire to see old stamps, that she gets a lot of positive comments on her videos when she does them. I know she just recently did a live, and I'm not going to remember the company, Mary, but the one with the 80s or 90s mixtape, and I know I was able to catch that live, and people loved it. For me as well, I will use old stuff if I haven't used it, or if I love it. Yeah, I'll bring it back. I think the key is, if you want to do YouTube or if you want to share on social media, share and do what's going to make you happy, because
if it makes you happy, it's probably going to make somebody else happy.
Yeah.
And a lot of the cards that you make, just like a lot of the cards that I make, especially florals, you don't have to use that stamp set to do that technique.
Yeah.
You know, I'm showing you this technique with this stamp set. It doesn't mean that you can't use a different one and get the same results and it be just as nice. It's just a little bit different of an image. So you don't have to use the same stamp sets to get the same results, I guess.
Yeah. Use what you have. Use what you love if you want to share. Somebody else says they're trying to make videos using older stamps that they have because they want to encourage shopping in your stash. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's fantastic. Obviously, with us being on design teams and trying to promote some newer stuff, there tends to be a focus on new product, but bringing in older products is great.
And I'm glad everybody's talking about this because honestly, I didn't know. Like, I don't mind. I'll use anything. I'll use a stamp from 5 years ago, or I'll use a stamp that was released today. I just love the card making process. So I don't mind using anything. And if that's something that you guys want to see, I will gladly bring out my older stamps and start doing videos on those because I mean, quite honestly, that will save me a lot of money.
Save a lot of money. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people on YouTube that shy away from using older things because I know I've heard a lot of people talk about the fact that viewers will get upset if they can't get those products after seeing you use them, and that is sometimes true.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of times we can't link to those products, and so for some of you who may not be kind of aware of affiliate links, so affiliate links is really kind of where we can make a little bit of money to put back into our channel. So Courtney and
Thanks,
I
Mom.
both use Share Sale and a couple other things. So if you're looking for products, when you hit the little arrow to bring the description box down and you see that we've linked those products, a lot of times those will be affiliate links, which means if you click on those and go to the website, we'll get a little bit of commission, which I use to put back into my channel. And it's at no extra cost to you. So that's another great way to currently support those creators that you love. And you can go back and hit those links at any time.
And we're not talking about us. Like, I don't want them to be like, they're just trying to get it. Yeah, anybody that
Just
you
in
see,
general,
any
but
YouTuber that you
yeah,
love to
yeah,
watch, a way to
anybody.
support them. Because to be quite honest with you, we've seen within the last couple of months a few of the YouTubers that we enjoy watching, kind of give up
Are
on
leaving.
it. They're leaving YouTube because they're discouraged. They're not, making anything, or not just it's not even not making money. I think it's just not getting the support.
Well, I think too it's about just the sharing piece. So videos aren't getting shared enough, and so my average video will take me 3 hours by the time I create the card. I mean, we talked about this already. So average of 3 hours. I do that because I love what I do, but I want people to see it, right?
Yeah.
So it's really discouraging when your subscriber count's going up and everything you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing, and then all of a sudden now YouTube changes things and our videos aren't being seen the way that they were, is frustrating. And I think that's another reason why it's so great to have crafty people in your community, because we have someone to talk about it now with, because it does get frustrating, but there's so much good.
There's
the
more
good
good
outweighs
absolutely.
the challenges, but
Yeah.
it's little trips like these and being together that kind of recharge us, and it's an amazing community. I think the crafting YouTube community is one of the best out there. I watch other types of videos and I see all the negative comments that are being left, and just I'm really lucky that I don't get those, and everybody is just so encouraging and leaves the nicest comments, and it feels good. It feels good. But yeah, if you want to support your favorite creators, then make sure you're subscribed, hit that like, and if you're so inclined, when you do make a purchase, to use an affiliate link, that can really help your favorite creators. So
she just said last time she tried to share, it went to their phone. Do you know what she means? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, if you
it
could
went
just
to their
clarify.
phone. If you want to, as far as sharing a video, I usually do it from my phone, so I don't know what it would be like from the computer. But there's the 3 little dots on the top right hand side. It went as a text.
So usually you can choose whether to
Copy
send it
link.
as, if you want to copy a link, then you can post it in your social media. You can choose to send it by email. Sometimes, depending on what it is, you can share. If you have a channel, you can share it through your channel. So usually there's a little menu that comes up on the bottom and you can pick how it gets shared, if that's helpful.
Yeah, usually I just copy the link if I'm sharing a video. I usually just copy, I'll go to share, and then one of the options is copy link, and then I just paste it wherever I'm going to paste it.
So our last question that we had come in before we went live was, what is our favorite stamp set currently? We had to think about that because
I
there's
still
so
don't
many.
even know it. I think, I mean, it's going to be absolutely no surprise at all to anyone that it's a honeybee stamp set. And it's probably winter anemone, because there's just so much you can do with it. It's flowers. I mean, it's flowers.
Yeah, you love your flowers. I think for me, because the question was currently, so here while we've been in the hotel room, cooped up for the last couple of days, I've been working on the Doodlebug Pill Better stamp set. So I just recently did a 10 card video. You gotta move. I just did a 10 card video using the Doodlebug. Oh my goodness.
It's the Get Well one. I don't know what it's
No,
called.
that's the one I'm working on now.
Oh.
I did the Easter. Happy Easter.
Okay. All right.
So I have that over on my YouTube channel, and right now I've been coloring up the Pill Better. So I've been a Doodlebug lover forever. When we were at Creativation in January, we saw the stamp sets in advance that were just released in February, I think. So I'm really loving the Doodlebug
It is a cute stamp set
right now. So I'll have a 5 or 10 card video using that.
Actually, I've been working on this weekend. I've been working on, I can't share the name of the stamp sets, but the new Trinity stamps release. Being on the design team, I got the stamp sets to work on to share with you guys, which will be released in a couple of weeks. And I have to say that one in particular, I think, is probably one of my favorites. My favorite seems to change. It's like whatever I'm using at the moment. But yeah, I really enjoyed working with that one. So you guys will see it soon.
Yeah, the other one that I'm really excited to get is, I don't know the name of it, which is kind of bad. But I just put it in my shopping cart there before this afternoon, and it's a new one by La La Land Crafts, and it's these kitties, like it's called like traveling cats or something. And
we saw that at
Creativation too, and it was my favorite stamp set from Creativation. So I'm going to be purchasing that one, and it's like a cat with like this adorable little suitcase, and it's really cute. So yeah, so that would be my favorite too. But
yeah, because I remember seeing that at Creativation, because we were like, we miss our kitties.
So I think we'll probably start wrapping up pretty soon.
Yeah, unless anybody has any questions about anything at all.
We have some people just joining us saying hello. Hopefully you'll be able to catch us on the replay.
But we're just basically chatting, nothing in particular, kind of all over the place. But we're willing to answer anything about anything.
Oh, we have a 12-year-old crafter with us. That's
great. That's awesome.
So nice to be able to have young crafters.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are your favorite cards to make? Yours are, I mean, I'm asking her, but yeah. But yours, would you say
my favorite cards? Oh, I do love florals, but I love building a scene. I do. I mean, it doesn't necessarily do a favorite stamp company.
Yeah.
Honeybee.
Yeah.
Honeybee for sure.
I'm definitely clean and simple. That's my style, but I do love a good scene card.
Oh, she likes shaker cards. Those are fun.
And stamping.
Yeah.
So we got asked what our favorite stamp company is. So it's always tricky to answer that question, especially when you work with so many amazing, amazing companies. But I fell in love with Lawn Fawn. I remember their first release. So, and they're on year 9, I think they're on year
Yeah,
9.
I think so, yeah.
So when I was at Creativation this year and I stood on the Lawn Fawn lawn
Oh my
and
God.
met Kelly and the team there, that was a dream come true for me. So definitely Lawn Fawn for me. I'd say
I
a more
can't even say
recent.
it's
I know there's
I
so. I
can't.
mean, I
There's
love
so
them
many. Like I
all.
love MFT. I love MFT. I mean,
MFT.
I love Simon. Everything. There's nothing that Simon has
Yeah.
come out with that I don't.
Um.
She's got 3.4 thousand subscribers.
Good for you.
Wow, good for you. I will remind me
Yeah.
to subscribe as soon as we're done here.
So we have someone asking if we could share a video or two with Spectrum Noir markers. So I do have the odd one over on my channel, and I still will pick them up and use them. And I will normally put in my title of the video that I'm using Spectrum Noir. So I still have them all. I still use them. I used them for many years. So there's color combinations there that I'm more comfortable with than I am with my Copics. And I'm still learning with Copics, but
I think
yeah,
we're always still learning with
so-
Copics.
and
I mean,
we'll-
there's always different techniques to try out and
yeah,
experiment.
if we can, after this is live, if we can link to anything in the description box, I can link to a couple of my Spectrum Noir videos.
Oh, can you read?
I only have double-digit subs, chugging along. Elizabeth's saying she's just chugging along. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So keep going. If you love it, then definitely keep
Oh, I love
going.
the new MFT release too.
Yeah, Mary's saying we all started with 1 subscriber. That's so
That's
true.
true.
I remember.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I
Go
know,
ahead.
and I remember the day that I hit 100, and that was.
I remember the day I hit 100.
That was a huge celebration for me. It was her husband. Aw.
Yeah,
my husband. Oh, he does subscribe to me. Yeah.
My first
I was gonna say he
subscriber, I
doesn't,
think,
but
was
he
my
does.
friend, one of my friends, and then yeah, probably my mom.
Yeah, but you got to start somewhere. Just be consistent. If I had any advice, pick a time in a day and get that video up weekly.
And don't stress
one
it.
video
Just have fun
a
with
week. If you can manage that, same time, same day, that will help you with your algorithms and it will help promote you. So keep up the
Oh, that's fun too.
keep up trying.
Face washes, body washes, and all that. That's
I'll have
fun.
to check that out.
Yeah.
So I think
Years, but took a break.
I think if there's no other questions, we can.
Yeah, if you guys have any other questions about anything at all, even if you guys have questions after this live is over, you can still leave a comment. I'll still see the comments. I think it takes a little bit of time to like whatever it does process or whatever it does. So it should be available for you guys to watch or leave a comment probably in like 10 minutes or so, I would say. Feel free to leave a comment or like I said, reach out to us. Also the crop, if you guys are interested in attending the crop, please let one of us know that you may be interested. Like I said, we're not going to hold you to it, just so that we can kind of get a rough idea of how many people may attend.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks for all your sweet comments and it's been.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. It's been fun. We're gonna get back to coloring
Crafting.
together. We're parting separate ways tomorrow.
Oh, Penny, I hope you can come. That would be awesome.
So it's been a quick couple nights, and then
Yeah.
we go back to being like 14,
Normal lives.
15 hours away talking
Yeah.
on Messenger.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for joining us. We're gonna sign off, and we will